I fixed the future of EVs and their acceptability in the car community with only 5 changes. Not a whole lot. Let's take a look. Okay, so with how popular EVs are getting, I feel like there's only a few things that need to be tweaked in order to get more people involved, people who actually care. There's a whole bunch of people out there who are thinking, I don't like EVs because this. Well, I made a list of 5 things, and I feel like this list actually addresses most of those concerns. So, number 1, we need to have these EVs make more real car noises. And Dodge just recently showed theirs. They're going to do it with their new Challenger. Sounds actually pretty good for what it is. You got to look at it for what it is. You can't say, is this going to sound 100% like a normal car? No. But with how well they've got it kind of figured out, I think there's a good future there. I feel like those who want, who don't like EVs because they don't make car noises, well, boom, you've got car noises. Also, that technology has been around for cabin noises for the car on the inside for quite some time. I know that Citroen had one in their little hatchback. I forgot which one it was. I'll have to pull a picture of it right now. But this one had it in there, and this is kind of the way that I'm thinking. So you can go in there and you can change which engine noise the car makes in the inside of the vehicle. And you can change it to be more like a racy car, more something completely different, or just the car you're in right now, just kind of a standard car. BMW's been doing something similar to this with their M cars for a decade at least, where they're going to pipe in fake engine noises to make it feel faster. So that technology has been around for decades. That's not a big deal. Whereas the external car noises, the external exhaust noise, that's newish. I think there was one unveiled in 2019 at SEMA. There was a paper written either on the automotive, or what was it? It was on the Highway Institute of Safety or something like that. There's a white paper written on that one. And then in 2023, there's another article kind of put out about it. But basically, the technology about hearing it from the outside is newer than the technology of hearing it from the inside. So with a few tweaks, I feel like that could be more acceptable. And that'll help kind of soothe those people who are not liking it because it doesn't make car noises. Okay? So number 2, this one is going to be one of my favorites. It's not the most favorite, but it's going to be one of my favorites. My favorite is number 3. So anyways, number 2 is going to be adding some way to shift the car in a fake way. And I know what you're saying, EVs don't have transmissions, blah, blah, blah. Right, they don't. That's 100% right. I'm not trying to say that we're going to, somehow throw in a transmission. I'm saying to make fake paddle shifters, and if you want to get really crazy, if you want to get nuts, put in a fake clutch pedal and an actual fake shifter on the center console, okay? And all this is going to do is it's going to tell the computer as soon as you flip one of those toggles, whether it be the paddle shifter on the steering wheel or pressing the clutch, shift your actual shift lever, the computer's going to say, okay, we're going to cut power for just a second as if they were going to be depressing that clutch. We're going to cut power, and then we're going to smoothly lay back on the power as if they were shifting that way. So no transmission, nothing like that's going to happen. It's just going to be basically an if-then computer program saying if you pull this lever, then the car's going to cut power and then gradually add power back on as if you are shifting the car normally. I think that'd be a blast. I would love that. That would kind of get me on the EV train. Not that I'm anti-EV, but that would be sweet. That'd be awesome. Come on. And before we get into number 3, we got to talk about the channel. The channel is growing a lot better than I thought it would, actually. I'm about 5 months in, and I'm 3,400 subscribers, something like that. You guys are wonderful. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do it. My goal is to hit 10,000 at the 1-year mark, and that's coming up. So if I could hit that, I would be ecstatic. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy to have that. I'm also be starting a Patreon page and then a Buy Me a Coffee. Patreon page is going to be more of a weekly subscription type of thing. We're going to have some fun things kind of hidden behind there for tiers where people are going to get exclusive content. The buy me a coffee thing, you're not actually buying me coffee. It's more of like a tip. Think of it that way, a one-time tip. Whereas Patreon is going to be subscription. You're going to be getting a whole bunch of cool stuff depending on what tier you're going to be in. And I'll put a link down below. We can talk about that in that link. And now for number 3, the one I'm most excited about. And there's been kind of talks of doing it. There's been a few companies doing small things like this, but I'm talking about mass production in a car. If you could have adjustable torque maps onto your EV, that would be awesome. And what I mean by that is normally in EVs, hit the gas, floor it, your torque is going to be pretty consistent, and the torque is going to be what you actually feel in the car. So if you're going to floor it, the torque's going to be the thing that's going to throw you in the back seat. That's what you're actually going to be feeling on your butt is the torque, okay? So with different engines have different ways they deliver torque. If you're going to have like a 4-cylinder turbo, you're going to have not a whole lot going on in the low RPMs. Turbo kicks in, and they're going to have a lot of power that way, and that's when you're going to feel it. V8s are going to have a little more down low torque, power that way. Things like trucks, a lot of low end torque, you're going to feel the power right off the bat. So how awesome would it be? I would love this. If you get in your car and you say, you know what, today I'm not really feeling that crazy. We're going to go just normal EV mode. Or if you get in your car and you're like, you know what, I want to have the feel as if I'm in, sacrilegious, Mark IV Supra. Okay, we're going to have that turbo lag, and then whoop, we're going to have the power that way. I want to feel it. I want to feel that torque set up as if I had straight 6 turbo. Okay, or I want to have that power as if I were in a V12 Lamborghini, whatever you want. And then you match those maps with what we talked about before about that interior exhaust note. So if you're saying, you know what, I'm going to go crazy today, within legal limits, of course. I'm going to go crazy and I'm going to drive as if I had a V12 Lamborghini. Sweet. Okay, you turn the exhaust sound into V12. Okay, and then you turn in your torque map to match it into a V12, and then you've got the feeling of a V12. How wonderful would that be? Just change it throughout the day, whatever you want to do. V12, V8, whatever. I think that would get car guys, they would be looking at EVs in a whole different light. If you could get those things matched up, that would be fantastic. Number 4, another thing that I've kind of felt when I was in a Tesla is there isn't a whole lot of feedback from the actual vehicle. It feels like, almost to me, it feels like you're in a roller coaster and you just have the power, boom, you're going. There's not a whole lot of feel from it. And I think if you were to take the vibrating seat action you can get on the modern cars, I know that the newer Denali's have it for like their lane keep assist, where if you start to drift off into a lane, it's going to vibrate your left butt cheek or whatever one you're going to be going on. If you could kind of tune that in to give you a little bit of a rumble, just a little bit of feedback tied in with that torque map, if you could have a little bit of feedback on there, I think that would be pretty sweet. Put that in with some feedback in the steering wheel, because if you're going to have a steering wheel that's going to have that electronic power steering, it's just going to feel dead. You won't have any road feel with it. It's just going to be basically, you're going to feel like you're driving a video game, which kind of what you're doing, I guess. But give that some more feedback too. Give it a little bit of vibration, a little more feedback on when you're turning in and whatnot. But those couple things combine, feeling the vibration in the seat, feeling the vibration in the steering wheel, I feel like you will feel like you are more involved with the car. And I feel like that's going to be what people are really looking for, is to get more involved instead of just getting into this car that's going to take you from point A to point B and you're asleep, essentially. Number 5, I think this is one that is maybe more of a personal thing for me, but the charging stations. And what I mean by that is most of the charging stations that I've seen, and of course, I don't know where you're at, so I'm saying what I've experienced is it's going to be, in the back of some parking lot. It's going to be on the side of the road somewhere. It's just going to be a few, Tesla charging stations, and that's kind of it. I think if we were, and I wouldn't want to sit there for 15, 20 minutes. It'd be kind of boring. If you could make a Tesla charging station, or any charging station for that matter, to be set up like a normal gas station like we have with the little gas islands, you're going to have your different sections, build it just like that. Or you can pull in, park your car, then you can go inside the building if you want to, buy some snacks, whatever. just basically normalize refueling, okay? Because I feel like we've gone too futuristic, I guess. And I feel like that's losing some people. If you were to keep it a little more normal, gonna normalize charging. Of course, if you're not going to charge at your house, normalize charging. You go to the charging station, it's set up like a normal gas station. Everything's normal as if it was before. Just plug in your car, wait a little bit longer, go inside, grab snacks, whatever. I feel like that would get a few more people. And like I said, that might just be me just thinking that, but I feel like if you're to add that in there to the whole EV lifestyle, you'd get a few more people because it's not so foreign, it's not so futuristic that they're going to have to go sit in the back of some parking lot somewhere in a Buffalo Wild Wings or something and charge their car all by themselves just sitting there. That's boring. So I think if you were to normalize that, put the chargers in normal gas station type of setups. If you were to have the fake engine noises that we talked about piped into the car and also coming out of the car, I didn't say that. That also be safer. You know, the EVs they have to make like a little ghost noise just so people can kind of hear that they're driving, whatever. But if you were to have that V12 noise or whatever you want to do, that'd be a little more safe that way. So if you have your engine noises, if you have your fake shifting in any way, that would be amazing too. If you were to have the changeable torque maps, that's my favorite one, paired with that fake shifting. And then some of that vibration feedback onto, from the seat, from the steering wheel. I don't think you can get a whole lot of pedal feel with that. So let's not worry about that since Tesla's having problems with their pedals anyways. Don't worry about pedal feel. Just be happy with your steering wheel feedback and your seat feedback, and we'll be happy. Just take it and you'll be good to go. I feel like if you add all those things together, you're going to have a more of an enthusiast car if you want one. Make those all optional. I don't care. Make them all optional for people who really want to kind of secretly test the EV waters, but they don't want to lose, if they're a car enthusiast who kind of goes off of that feel, if there's a small percentage of a car enthusiast who want to have that, manual shifting, paddle shifting, whatever you want to do, that'll kind of get those people involved as well. That's going to help that EV brotherhood expand, help the EV acceptance expand. If you just get a little more feedback on it, it's nice and it's funny to have, a fart noise whenever somebody sits down on the seat, whatever. It's nice to change the honk on the actual horn to do whatever noise you want to do. That's cute, whatever. But if you're to have these things in there, add those things in to the car, a little more feedback, a little more noise, I feel like you'd be good to go. EVs would eventually start to be more acceptable now that they're less sterile and you can customize them to what you want them to be like. But like I said before, some of these just could be me ranting. So let me know, what do you think? Are any of these line up with what you think they should be? Am I completely lost here? Completely out of touch? Let me know. But I feel like those things would be able to get a few more people on the EV side. So, what do you think? Thanks for watching.